Welcome to Black Love Matters, where this serves as a therapy session for figuring out adulthood.
Loving each other.
You'll find our inner Brock Michelle.
Or Jay-Z and Beyonce. Or who is you?
I'm Neil.
And I'm Nyambi.
And this is episode 352, y'all.
Hey.
Be sure to leave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts and on Stitcher, and follow us on all forms of social media at Black Love Matters. That's Black with no K. What's going on, baby?
Child, where do I start with my check-in? Why didn't y'all remind me that White Daddy and them and triplet family, multicultural family back? This Is Us, This Too Much has returned. It came back on Tuesday. Niram didn't watch it. Did you watch it, Niram? Am I overspeaking? Did you just watch it?
I did not watch it.
You done with This Is Us? You're not participating anymore?
No.
You're only one episode behind, but it's 2 hours. But then they hit us with the Get Got, they ain't coming on next week. So they just did that to, codify us.
That's some bullshit.
Yeah. You participating or no?
I might.
Why you say it like that? You ain't drank the Kool-Aid on This Is
I
Us?
just did. I might.
Okay. Well, we'll see. This Is Us, 2-hour season premiere. Won't do the spoilers alerts. I know y'all don't like us to always get the spoiler alerts. We'll do high level. I would say it's good. Now, from all the Pearsons, what would I say? Season premieres, is it the best one? No. But was it cute? Yeah. You know what else I'm on the fence about? And This Is Us, I think they did some rebranding, re-editing, because they picked up right where we left off. So they picked up right where Kevin was like, newsflash, buddy. The best thing that ever happened to me was before you, was some shit like that. And then, I forgot what Randall told Kevin, talking about he useless or some shit like, Daddy never liked your ass anyway. After they done had their brother fight, Kevin then walked to the house, and that's what old girl there. And she's like, I gotta tell you something. He was like, I've had a really bad day. I'm just stressed out. And she's like, I'm pregnant. And he was like, ooh, with twins. Ooh, low key, high key. She don't know. This is what Kevin been trying to get trapped. He's been trying to get trapped since high school. So this is a blessing. This is a blessing. This is a blessing. He just been around women who like, nah, I don't want to get trapped by this one. So it's a blessing. All that to say, it looks like they went in and they're taking COVID into consideration. I'm on the fence with this, right? Because I love the realism. I love the connection. But shit, I'm living it. Like, I need this to be a couple years out, a reflection on it. Like, I'm not sure if I need more series to tell me what it's like to live through COVID, because that's what I'm living through.
Right.
And I'm trying to watch White Daddy and them to distract myself from knowing that it is mass chaos happening outside.
Exactly.
So again, they did it well. It wasn't it wasn't beating us over our head or anything about it, but it's one of them things like, oh, I get it, right? It was certain nods when Kevin was like, oh, this little virus thing. Oh, my producer or whoever agent hasn't called me. So it's not going to be a big thing. Don't worry about it. And then what happened?
It'd be a big thing.
Yeah, the agent called. And it's just like, uh-oh. Right, it's like that foreshadowing type thing. But I'm like, honestly, we could have went without it, because I'm not necessarily in the mind frame that they're in the same year as we are. Too, like, I'm not necessarily drink that Kool-Aid. Like, I don't believe it's 2020 for the Pearson family, allegedly, right? Like, I know they're in the same era, but I'm not following the years as close. So stay tuned on that. But I'm trying to see, what can I give without giving too much away? Like, they just had a lot of realism. So they did the COVID. They talked about the George Floyd, and we finally had the talk with Randall. I don't know, Randall, the oldest black man that done received the talk. And, and a 15-year-old boy had to give it to him.
What?
What
you mean he the oldest black man to receive the talk?
Y'all know the talk. The white people done branded it as a talk. We know the conversation about, like, when police and things that are happening, and maybe it's not the talk. Like, how do you process through that? And being a black person in America, like, the fact that some of our white counterparts or people who happen to be white are waking up to, like, oh, this is really bad. Where black people's like, been like, what's different? Like, I don't know what our like, that type of thing. And Random kind of raking up with his fellow whites, and then Deja boyfriend, they on he got to, I guess, what's it called, isolated, or what's the quarantine, because it was their 1 year anniversary, so they're having like a picnic or something in the backyard or whatever, and he seen them on the porch, and he was like, here's your birthday, how you doing, you looking sad. And that's when they had this conversation, and Randall opened up to him that in his family, although the love is there, when it comes to situations around race, he has always felt like an outsider, or not necessarily an outsider, but when it came to hard things about race, it was rough.
Look at the problem when he was trying to pledge Q.
When he was trying to pledge, I think about when he was in the swimming pool and he was ashy. I think about when he was getting a haircut, them ingrown hairs, and Rebecca and White Daddy didn't necessarily lean into that. right? They never. It always surprised me that white daddy and white. That's why I knew something was up with Randall, because white daddy and white mother never had at least one black friend. Like not one.
They tried though.
They did not fucking. So now you caping for the colonizers. How did the colonizers try?
I thought, didn't he have that one black friend
No,
at the park?
no. But the mama had to, like, the black mama had to be like, child, take him to the spot over here, bring him through a little talk to him. But I'm talking about white mama and white daddy never took the time to really integrate themselves into a black community for the benefit of their sons.
Oh,
right?
Of course not, because they're white.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I do think it's a responsibility. If you adopt a child of color or you adopt a child from a different culture, as a parent, you have to do your due diligence to have an understanding of that culture. And sometimes that's what the colonizers missed out on. And that's why sometimes white people get mad when we see them adopting brown children, people from other countries. We roll our eyes because, like, you just want to appropriate them. Right? Like, you don't understand how deep this is. So I think all that, took Randall till he's 40. It's okay. A lot of us have reckonings at varieties of ages. So that was a little, And then here come Beth. Beth gave a good dialogue at the end. Cause here go Randall, I'm tired. And she was like, yes, baby, you was born out of the trauma and pain. But trouble don't last always. And all the Negro proverbs there is. And we gonna push forward and do this thing. And he was like, you right. And then at the end, we got a bit surprise. I won't reveal that surprise, but that's some bullshit. We get a flashback of Randall's father and his biological mother. They was on that shit and making music. And I'll let you think whatever you're gonna think, but I think we're gonna be getting some visits from people we thought was dead. Ain't this some bullshit? And actually, spoiler alert, Randall mama might be alive. She was gonna overdose, and then the white police officers, EMTs talking quite loud, like black people don't got ears. So I'm like, yeah, we need to call Child Protective Services to see what the fuck is going on. Randall daddy, black daddy, got the fuck out of there, and so he ain't even stick around to see what do I do with sis body, none of that, right? Because he ain't want to go to jail, lose his child. Then at the end, sis on that shit, she, and that's the last thing we got. And that's some bullshit.
Black mama alive.
Black mama alive. I find it hard to believe she alive, because you ain't go look. And the thing is, she didn't have a relapse. What she did, she had the baby at home, and the pain was so hard that, because, after birth, all that type of stuff. But for the pain, he gave her some of that shit to ease it on her. Where I'm like, you should have went to the fucking clinic. It's okay if you rack a bill. You don't got shit no way. Hello? But anywho.
Interesting.
But that's when the white writers came a little for me. Like, that didn't, I want to see how they're going to play this black mama. Often, very seldom, especially the way they was playing Randall black mama. She don't seem like the type who would just wake up from a near-death experience and don't go look about her son.
So
you know what I'm saying? And the thing is, it ain't like black Randall daddy was doing good shit. He went back and got on that shit and played the saxophone. They hard to find that nigga in Philly. What?
So I wonder how they if she's
That's
still
what I
alive.
said. White writers is doing this. The white ones.
I wonder if she's still alive, how they're going to intertwine this, and then Randall is going to find his mama.
And then on this, I'm still going. And then the other aspect, I'm going to finish up with Randall. Then Deja, I'm actually liking Deja more and more now. I take back what I said in previous episodes. Deja, the only black woman in that house with sense, including Beth and her 2 daughters. Because the little one making 40 ingredient smoothies in the corner.
What? 40 ingredients?
Because it's his birthday. Then put tarragon, parsley, bananas, and peanut butter all in the same thing. She's not wrapped as tight as she can be. And then, the other girl who trying to figure out her identity, more wrapped up in where her white uncle and white auntie at. Then Beth is just Beth. And Beth done kept that dance studio open in the middle of COVID. Beth, it's COVID. We can't dance. We can't. Close it, Beth. You don't got no money. Your husband is a civil servant. It ain't no money.
Ain't no money.
Then meanwhile on the ranch, Deja, why don't you just worry about your day? Be grateful you got daddy who love you. Deja's still speaking the truth. I think Deja about to be the truth speaker.
Well,
the truth, just the truth teller.
Because she ain't never had nobody love her. So
yeah, she's looking like, why don't y'all sit y'all asses down? So that's when. Oh, and also with Randall, he had another talk. Then he had 2 talks with white women. He called himself reading white women for filth. But he did, but he didn't. So he called his white therapist, and then had the Nyambi talk with the white therapist. That I said, why he going to her? He basically said that I can't go to you white women no more because I pretend to be something that you ain't. I'm not, and I can no longer pretend. So I got to go find me a black therapist. And what white woman said, good for you. I got a waiting list. But but then the good part where I thought white sister Kate did a lot of good acting was he read Kate for filth. So you know him and Randall one talk, they kind of talking. You know how siblings fall out. So they on that like 1-2 words, good, thank you, love you, bye, yeah, anything else, like on that type of talk. And then Kate was like, I didn't do anything, I'm so sorry, Randall, it's just everything that's going on, and you know, COVID, and they're killing black men, and I'm so sorry, I can't imagine how you feel. And here go Randall, what you sorry for? I said, oh, now he want to boss up and get this money. Now you want to boss up. And Kate was like, I mean, cool, just everything. And he was like, no, what in particularly are you sorry for? And she said, huh? You know, I'm playing white woman. And then he was like, particular, are the racism in this? And she's like, yes, I just can't imagine. I'm so sorry. And then Kate busts out in phenomenal white woman tears to weaponize situation. And he's like, stop. I can't do it because every time this happens and I'm feeling a certain type of way, and I've been going through this pain and you just not feeling it, I have to then stop what I'm doing for myself to take care of you. And therefore I don't take care of myself. So I cannot console you. I cannot help you. I cannot provide any direction for you because I need to take care of myself. So if you gonna cry, I'm gonna need you to turn around, go in the house and talk to one of them white people in there. He ain't say it like that, but that's the gist. And Kate, and she just shook her head and walked in the house. So these are the reckonings Randall's having. The shit I asked episode 1. I don't know why I took a pandemic. It would take a special white family to adopt me when I'm done.
Ooh.
When I'm done with them.
Imagine what they would have did to that hair.
Well, I have to definitely have a low Caesar. I would just have to keep a low Caesar. Or have a bad weave. I have just, the weave would be nasty. White daddy had to work 2 jobs to keep the weave in my head.
You better put a kitty perm in.
They said we gotta loosen this up. And then the other story that's happening is, of course, Rebecca. Rebecca's fading, and the trial was canceled, and so they got her on some medicine. She's doing really, really well. But you know, Miguel be acting like he ain't rap fucking tight. You know, certain medications you can't mix with shit. So they done messed around and mixed her with some antihistamine, and it reduces the don't antihistamine reduce the impact of a lot of medications?
Yes.
Like you got to be careful when you're taking that Benadryl shit. Hell, don't it even stop with like, what is it, birth control and shit? You got to be very careful. Anyway, it interacted with Rebecca memory things, and her ass went and bought a cake and forgot where the fuck she was at. And so that entitled them calling Randall and everybody coming being awkward, so they figuring out what that is.
They ain't found her yet?
They done found her. Oh. She a white woman. Someone's gonna rescue her. Someone's always looking to rescue a white woman. So they found her and brought her back to the cabin. But like, you know, as a family, Randall like told you niggas so. And everybody's like, well,
Not they doing the main one.
And Randall like, this shit. This is that white mediocrity I'm talking about. That's what he wanted to say. He just ain't had the words. I'm sick of y'all white mediocre asses. And that's it. And then Kevin, you know, Kevin's the white knight. So Kevin's going to have these white children and he's going to be fine. Him and Madison, whatever it is, they're going to have a bunch of up and downs because she doesn't want to move into his $1 billion house. Like, it's going to be stupid shit I ain't interested in. But I'm sure they're going to find a dialogue with that. And then Kate and them, they're getting adopting a baby. This is us in 3 minutes. What you think about that from what I told you? You up to date now.
So I ain't got to watch it?
Not really, unless you want some of the key of the dialogues.
Yeah, sometimes kid dialogue is.
Oh, don't get me. It was decent. Like, it wasn't bad. Like, I'm just highly critical because this is us and have my mouth open sometimes. This just wasn't a mouth open episode. Maybe I'm just fatigued too.
Yeah, there's a lot.
You have I turned you over? You watching or you don't know yet? You need one more episode.
I think I'll watch it tonight.
Okay. Well, they only got 2 more seasons.
Oh.
Well, this season, I think they go up to 6 seasons. So is this and another one? Then they done.
Because they already know how it's going to end.
Yeah, they already know how it's going to end. I mean, Rebecca dying.
No shit.
Look, I'm like, what are y'all hiding? What's going on?
She gone.
She gone.
She got
Mama lived a long time.
She got the early onset. She done played with some grandkids, some black ones, some white ones.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
She then remarried.
Them found Miguel. Also, it was a lot of like, you know, I used to do really good cinematography. So it was a lot of like white daddy, black daddy crossing paths. And you know, I take it as a theme. Like, you never know when you're crossing paths with someone's going to impact the rest of your life. And how many times you blindly have done that in like recognizing those moments, which was cute. But I was still on Randall having a talk at 40. What? I said, damn, he ain't have no male mentors.
No.
Like he had that one teacher that gave him a Baldwin book, but Randall had no black male mentors,
No.
like no old black man to get his ass together.
No.
God damn! Did he go to HBCU allegedly?
No, he didn't go. I thought he went to another school.
I swear that he said that he went to the HBCU, and I was like, that's a lie.
Because why he didn't pledge Q? Like that, he pledged Q in the future.
I don't believe even Beth went to a black, like both of them.
No, because remember, I thought he stayed close.
Oh, maybe yeah, he did, like Penn or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Anywho, next story. Nyambi got a whole lineup for you. This is quick. Kenya Barris is directing the biopic of Richard Pryor. I'm really lit about that. Kenya, be careful. I like Kenya, but sometimes he get real dry humor with me. And then Richard Pryor, there's real dry humor. I don't want a satire of Richard Pryor. I don't want a comedy of Richard Pryor. I want a biopic. So that means I want to laugh. I want to cry. I want to be anxious. I want to see the evolution of his career. Mm-hmm. So be careful, Kenya. You know how Kenya is. Kenya dash out and put a Juneteenth song in the middle of a biopic in a minute. He be like, why is it a cartoon here? Like what?
Juneteenth song.
You know.
I know what you're talking about. But why? Why, Nyambi?
Why?
Like, why, baby?
From?
Why?
Why what?
Why would you throw that in there?
Well, because that's what he'll do. And I just want him to, or he'll throw in, just be careful. Or he'll like over rotate in some areas we don't need to over rotate in. We don't need to over rotate in when he got set on fire. We get it. Like we don't even need to film that.
Why not?
Because that's not what the focus is.
Oh.
And I feel like Kenya would take it and like really go deep with that. And it's like, this does not need to be a 20-minute scene.
Did Quincy Jones ever give up tea about Richard Pryor?
Quincy, just go tweet him. He will. Quincy Jones can't hold water. Every interview I see Quincy Jones doing, every documentary Quincy Jones in, he's putting someone business on the street. He talk about who doing heroin. I'm still on who he said he stopped doing. Was it heroin?
Yeah.
Because he fell down 5 or 15.
I don't know.
He said he fell down between 5 and 15 flights of stairs. Straight, sir? How do you keep the momentum to continue to fall down 5+ flights of stairs?
Oh, Quincy Jones did. He did say like Richard Pryor and Marlon Brando or something.
Was lovers. Yeah, they were saying that. Look at him.
Quincy Jones was giving up all the tea.
Quincy Jones put people's business out there and nobody asked for the business to be put out there. And if he's fluid, and if Quincy projecting, who you fluid with? With that, he be trying to get like an accent. You know, sometimes that era, that generation, they be killing me. It be Quincy Jones, and don't be getting me wrong. Tina's one of my favorite. Like they get these weird British accents, and they like from Alabama.
Oh, you know who
like
got one now?
Who?
Kanye West.
What is that? It's like black people, when they reach a certain status, like they could get this whole new accent. Do you know what I'm talking about? Tina Turner's from Nutbush, Tennessee. And she be like, and you know, and da da da. I'm like, why did Tina talk like that?
Because they hang around a lot of white people.
And also, what is it? Quincy Jones talk like not a beat bopper. What is the thing that used to be here in the 60s? In San Francisco's with the hat, like he'd be like scatty, you know, man, it's just really rad. And I just, what? Who's talking like that, Quincy?
He do.
The only one who keep it gangster is Smokey Robinson. He still sound like he off 7 Mile. Let's take a look back.
Baby.
Why are you reading? Nerum was up here reading some tea that Quincy's spilling. What you
was
reading
like,
now?
It was the 70s. Drugs were still good, especially Quaaludes.
Oh my God.
If you did enough cocaine, you'll fuck a radiator and send it flowers in the morning. What?
Shut up.
Look, he could dance his ass off. He was the most charming motherfucker you ever met.
Who?
He fuck anything.
Who?
He'll fuck a mailbox. Who? James Baldwin, Richard Pryor, Marvin Gaye. He'll fuck them all.
Who?
Marlon Brando.
Oh, this is me. Look, I'm the interviewer. I turned to an owl. Who? Quincy Jones, the original, what is it, blogger. What's it called? What's those blogs called?
He is giving up all the tea.
So, Quincy, you got to be careful what you ask for. But I am excited to see Richard Pryor's biopic. He is a legend, and just what Richard Pryor did for the culture and comedy and just the deep breath of fresh air he provided everyone, I know it's going to be a good time. Next story, we're rolling. Y'all, it's going to be a long one. Settle in. This is for y'all at the polls. Nia told me this story. Cockfighting raid turns deadly when rooster attacks and kills police officer. Ready, Nia?
What?
So a police officer was killed during a raid on an illegal cockfighting event in the Philippines when a rooster with a blade on his leg slashed the cop, causing a fatal wound. The cop was hitting his left thigh, the blade reportedly slicing through the femoral artery, which ultimately caused him to bleed out. The local police chief, Colonel Armo Apud, commented to the news agency describing the incident as a piece of bad luck that I can't explain. I could not believe it when it first reported to me. This is the first time in my 25 years as a policeman that I lost a man due to cockfighting spur. Be safe in these streets.
What the fuck?
The death angel got no what?
No name.
No time, no age, no space. When your number is called and it's time for you to go meet your maker,
Jesus.
be it COVID, be it heart disease, be it cockfighting, you out.
Jesus. They be having them razor blades.
You know, that's old school though. Well, this is in the Philippines, but that's some down south shit when folks be having them roosters and them chickens fighting and shit, and they put that blade on they back of their leg. That's crazy, ain't it? I think I've never heard of that. It was one time I was dating this guy back in Michigan, and I was hanging with him. We was just outside with some friends. It was mutual. It was a group of us. And I think I told my parents, I ended up going home. I was so nervous. I called my parents I'm on my way home because this nigga crazy. I was like, what? Do you know? I was like, oh, can I use the restroom? Can I get some water? He was like, oh yeah, sure, go ahead in. My mom's in there. So I went in there, and mind you, it looked like a normal nigga, right? Normal nigga, not far from home. When his house, speak to his mother, hello, introduce myself, all that type of stuff. And she's like, oh yeah, baby, go to the bathroom. I went to the bathroom by the kitchen. Do you know they had 20 cages with chickens in there? I didn't even pee. I literally stayed in the bathroom, ran water, and then grabbed my friends and was like, girl, I got a headache. I got to go. I said, my mama tripping. I got to go home. And my friend was like, what? Nigga, what's going on in here? I literally text my mom or called my mom. I couldn't call my dad. No, did I call I might have called my dad, because if I call my mom, I'm like, what's the address? My dad was like, just come home. It's okay. Just come home. He was like, are they dangerous? Are they hurting you? Or what's going on? I was like, I just passed by the kitchen. I peeked through first, and it was 20 chickens in there. What is niggas doing with live ass chickens in their kitchen and cages?
Hey, don't be judging people. Stead in the city got chickens.
Nigga, not in her kitchen.
We don't know what you keep them chickens.
Them chickens is in that coop.
Maybe they come in
outside.
Maybe it's wintertime.
We was outside. If I was outside, the chicken can be outside. And I ain't see no coops in the backyard, nor was it enough space for no coops. And it had to break a city ordinance.
That's why they was in the house.
And so I said, listen, I don't know if they over here casting spells. I don't know if they over here fighting each other. I don't know if they got chicken rings and they trying to put me in the chicken ring. I don't know what's happening, but I'm not allowing it. And I ghosted them. Because how I'm supposed to tell them, we can't talk because I don't know about them chickens in your... it was nothing he could have told me that I would have been like, oh, that makes sense. Y'all know I'm team make it make sense. What lie you think he would have told me? Because it was going to be a lie.
That was their dinner?
Nigga, 20.
Yes, for the next year.
But why do you keep them in the house? You had me outside as a human.
Because they probably more
I'm getting
reliable.
off track. That was some feedback I got.
You are getting off track.
Because, I like to take the children on a journey. Mm-hmm. But so that is my last experience with, I believe they ran a cockfighting ring.
Not with 20 chickens.
I don't know what they was doing. What else would you do with 20 chickens?
Eat them, sell the eggs.
And they weren't the organic ones. They weren't the pretty ones. You know the pretty ones look they got on Chanel? Mm-hmm. It wasn't those. The black one, you know what I'm talking about? Some chickens they wear Chanel, honey. Their hair be floofed up and they be pretty. It wasn't them. It was chickens. It was some chickens. It was the wild chickens who just, when you down south and the rooster just roam, it looked like them.
Well, what do you think our chickens look like that we eat?
Near them.
They don't look like the Chanel chickens.
Near them.
They look like the wild chickens.
We were in the city of fucking Detroit. And this nigga had 20 chickens in his kitchen in a cage. And I walked by his mama, spoke to her, had a conversation. And she didn't even say, oh, you might see some chickens in there, baby.
For why?
Nigga, that's strange. It scared me.
I'm about to pee on myself.
It scared me so much. My pee went back up.
Oh, I'm about to pee on myself.
It scared me. Like, it scared me because I'm from the city or suburbs. We don't deal with chickens, so I've never been surrounded by 20 of them. And like my friends didn't even believe me. Like my friends, you know who my friends are. It was actually a guy and a girl. Could you imagine what the guy said? What A said?
Ooh.
A believed me, but R didn't believe me.
You gotta get the fuck out
Yeah.
of here.
A was like, let's get the fuck out of here. He was like, A was like, they might turn us into chickens. He was like, there might be people. But I always end up in weird situations where I got to tell my friends, like, we got to go. Or like, can you believe this happened? Like, we have to leave. I always end up in ding dong situations. Have you had any situations with cop fighting?
No.
Especially being down in Mississippi, and then where your people from?
Yes, but no.
Y'all just wrangle snakes. Be
Snakes.
careful with them snake wranglers too, honey. I don't mess with them.
Snakes.
Y'all wrinkle snakes. Well, y'all play with them or
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. They had one of my cousins had a big ass albino python.
Like in church?
This nigga had a big ass.
Did y'all play with snakes in church?
I don't know.
Please clarify to me because I can't go down there.
You know, it might have been a trauma that I suppressed.
Listen, that's why you got the problem with being baptized. If I go up in church and there's any snakes, I'm leaving.
This nigga had a big ass albino python that was like 30 feet long.
Why are people infatuated with? Why don't they just get dogs? Just get a cat, dog, or a fish. Why are people trying to domesticate these animals? So R.I.P. to that officer. I'm sorry about that. When I read that, it took when Nia told me, it took my breath away. Then of course we both scholars. I got to do my own research because I had to learn more. I said it cut that femoral artery. How long did it take them to get to the hospital? But that femoral artery got a lot of blood pumping.
Yeah.
So it probably only took like a minute or a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Jesus. Almost lastly, OWN got cooking shows coming, y'all. We love bread. We love food. I was waiting for Oprah. Is she listening? So OWN, the Oprah Winfrey Network announced, I think it was yesterday, that its first ever food programming block with 4 all-new original cooking shows premiere on Saturday, November 14th, featuring a variety of like African-American chefs. The programming starts at noon Eastern time with some of the folks. I don't know actually these people. I need to look them up. So it's Lovely Bites starring Chef Connie Lovely air quotes Jackson, followed by Trey Gay's Ways at 12:30, starring Chef Trey Gay Frazier. Then you got Food Fantasies at 1 p.m., featuring several celebrity chefs each episode. And then we're going to wrap up the evening, all this good-ass eating, with Tanya's Kitchen Table at 1:30, starring Chef Tanya Holland. Duh. I mean, we've been trying to fucking get BET to do it. Hell, all I do on Saturday mornings watch Pioneer Woman. And Joy Readout, the AM Joy, but you know, Joy, she prime time, honey. That's all the fuck I want on a Saturday. Easy breezy. While I'm making my Trader Joe's list, or this is cool to have in the background while me and Niram, we watching what we eat. We about a month out before we can do like a little champagne brunch and some carby pancakes. That's literally what we do right before family meeting. I'm lit about this. I will be. I want to reach out to Miss Brown on Food Network because Food Network don't give her worth.
No, they don't.
They don't be giving her shine like she need to shine. She need to ease on her own here.
Well, Food Network never gave black chefs any good stuff.
The Neelys though. The Neelys was a brand.
That was the Neelys.
The Neelys but the Neelys came around with Paula Deen. Like they was a force for a minute. But Mabel, if you don't hush your mouth. Hush.
Shut up.
Don't you talk to her like that.
You shut up.
Ooh, you better edit that out.
I'm not editing shit.
Who are you talking about? But I love it, though. You excited about it?
Yes, I am. I better edit it out.
You better edit out. No, Niram is being real. Keep it up. Keep it up.
Well, you're going to have a break from me anyway.
I don't want a break. Oh. Why would you say that? You need a break from me and Mabe? So
yes.
Why you say
in between Mabel barking and you yelling at me from yelling at her? Absolutely.
Stop yelling. We don't want to pass down trauma.
She's a fucking dog.
Talk to her in a calm voice.
Mabel.
Thank you. See, she listen.
Shut the fuck up.
Don't stop cussing. Too much energy. For real, my last check-in. Y'all know Anne-Marie? It's this one thing that got me tripping. It's that one thing. Y'all, she got a whole ass book club in YouTube channel with Write and Study with Me.
What?
And it's fucking good.
It is?
You know, Anne Marie, I think she's Black and Asian. She's in her, the book club focuses more on African American authors, topics related to like Blackness, topics related to racism. Like, it's deep. Like, she's not doing 1 fish, 2 fish, 3 fish, 4, right? She's doing some heavy reading. And not only that, she's inviting authors in on it to unpack the theoretical framework behind it. First of all, fuck Anne Marie. Not it's just one thing got me doing this. Then she in her bag with the Write and Study time with me. For y'all who don't know, that's a huge movement in a lot of the I don't forget what Asian country. I don't want to misspeak, but it's like in the Asian culture where it'll literally be like 1.5 hour YouTube videos, and all the people are doing is typing on their computer, reading a book, and taking notes. And people get millions of views because some folks, especially now, what's going on, it feels collaborative. Like, so if they're writing, reading, taking notes, you have that in the background. They have a little light music, and you'll be doing the same thing. So it's like you're almost, you know, when you're working in like a collaborative workspace and someone else is doing the work, y'all not actually typing, but you hear like them typing and like. And that's what she got.
This money. She's doing ASMR.
ASMR on YouTube. That's what the Read With Me, Study With Me is. And then, but the books she's having are quality books, and it's quality authors. Shout the fuck out to Anne Marie.
It's A. Marie.
A. Marie. Oh, we're doing that. What did I say?
Anne Marie. You know.
Anne Marie. Yeah. What's the difference between Anne Marie?
A. Marie.
Am. So I do am like AM, like I am.
No, it's not that.
It's A. Marie.
Yes.
Really? Why don't we fall in love? A. Marie.
Yes, I'm looking at it now.
I've been calling this girl Anne Marie.
Yes, you have.
So, like she from Nutbush. Anne Marie, get your ass down here, girl. Clean these collard greens. Pick these qualities.
That's a nice little hustle.
She got it. So, but it's quality. Like again, I haven't went too deep on it, but just looking at the books she has, high quality. It's some of the books on there that I'm trying to read or I've read and I need to read again because it went over my head, right? Like I need to unpack it more. So low key, high key, I'm gonna just go back and look at a couple of her YouTube videos. Never speak for me. I'm gonna give her my email address. You know, data and privacy, that's huge. That's almost more valuable than money. So I'm gonna go read through these and see what's going on with A. Marie. So shout out to A. Marie Book Club in her AMSR Write and Study With Me. And that's what it's called, Write and Study With Me, MI. I said, come on, Asian. Don't let them forget. What's going on with you, Neroms?
Hey. So, you know, I'm heading to Philly, y'all. I'm going to help take back this democracy.
Oh.
And, you know, one of the things I've been doing, or as I'm getting started, getting ready for this thing, is going on some of these volunteer calls and hearing what the hell is going on. And, like, some of this shit, you know, it's cool because, like, you know, y'all here volunteering. You're trying to get people active. You're trying to make sure they can vote it and things of that sort. But some of this shit is so damn unorganized. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Because it's grassroots, and a lot of times you maybe had a babies or folks who retired.
Yeah.
Or, you know.
So, you know, I'm going to be out there. I'm going to be a poll worker. Y'all may or may not see your boy. I'm out there, though. Be a poll worker. You know, I contemplate whether or not I'm going to take this class to be, they call it like a poll defender or something like that.
What's that mean?
And basically what that is that it's supposed to help de-escalate when you get these MAGA supporters trying to intimidate people from voting.
Oh, my, yeah, and I imagine the MAGA's going to be out here showing out.
So there's a type of de-escalation course you're supposed to take for that. So I'm going to be out there. I'm going to be doing some literature drops. I'm going to be at some tables.
Some who?
Literature drops.
What's that?
So that's when you're in the car with in a van and you go like drop off literature, like voting literature, like where to vote in your area and things of that sort.
The day of?
Yeah. So we're going to be doing some literature drops. We're going to be doing
You going to record any of it, or is that again?
De-escalation. I'm taking a GoPro.
Yeah, just to see. I'm just curious myself. I'm sure.
I'm curious to see as well. I think the other thing, though, you know, it wouldn't be a revolution if it wasn't some shit to be scared of.
What?
So, you know, that gentleman just got shot by the police a couple of days ago.
Oh, yeah, with the knife.
What was his name? Wallace.
Yeah, I forgot the young man's name.
Let's see if we can find it.
Yeah. That's true. And that just happened to Philly. And I know Philly's been having a few like demonstrations as a response to that. Because I'm not sure what Philly PD or like the AG has done about it yet.
Yeah. So Walter Wallace Jr. Was recently shot, and there's protests going on. Also, the governor has brought in the National Guards.
Yeah, especially this close to election. I mean, I'm usually not Team National Guard, but I'm sure everybody's on 10.
Also, there's a curfew.
Oh. Well, yeah, if you got the National Guard, you probably do got a...
So-
well, how you going to have a curfew when we voting? How that work?
I don't know. So there's a lot of things going on in Philly. You got civil
Is it early voting in
uprising.
Philly?
Yes.
Well, yeah, how you going to have a curfew when we get people voting? And I'm assuming voting go all day.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So curfew is at 9 p.m. So I'm assuming like voting to be done by then.
But these lines long. You seen New York?
Yes.
Like I said, ain't Philly.
And there's been times where, because I've been on these calls, it's like, some of the waits has been 6 hours long to vote.
Why?
You know
Has
why.
anybody done the research to why?
Gerrymandering. They're taking away polling locations.
Yeah, I would say in addition to like a bunch of people there, like, is it hard to fill out the ballot? Right?
Well-
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are the other things we can do? Like, are people giving them the ballots like before they even get in line so they can read them?
Well, you see how long it took us just to fill out the ballot.
That's
We
what I'm
was at the
saying.
house.
People are gonna be at the thing. They shouldn't be at the poll starting from scratch.
So that's the thing, right? Is that you would hope that people are like looking at this stuff, but some people are not.
Yeah,
Some people
they
just looking
working.
at this shit saying like, "Fuck it," like I need to get that on Trump out, and not.
I'm just
looking
doing
at,
that and ain't doing nothing else.
Yeah, and not looking at the other propositions.
Yeah.
Because in California, our shit was 5 pages front and back.
Yeah, well, like we had at least 7 or 8 propositions, heavy propositions
Mm-hmm.
too. We ain't talking about light stuff.
So like I'll be down there, I'll be getting people excited, keeping people entertained, just making sure, bringing people food, giving people water, all types of things to help with people standing in lines while they're trying to vote.
Cool.
So I'll be down there. Y'all send your boy up some, Nia put a prayer fence around your boy. Anybody else send up some prayers, for just safety because we still going through a pandemic. Mm-hmm. So like it's just a lot going on, and I think one of the things is that I'm definitely nervous because like you got the pandemic, you got civil arrest, you got me being an outsider to Philly and like coming in and trying to help. You got the coast, not the Coast Guard, what's it called? The National Guard.
I mean,
You
you're a
got,
black man.
Me being a black man, so it's like all of these things that are, in the back of my head of like whether or not I should go.
Yeah.
And like I'm going back and forth like should I go or not? But I think the thing is like I need to do my part, and if I'm in a position to do my part to like help take back democracy, whatever that means, I need to do it.
Yeah. Of course.
So yeah, that's the main thing. You want to hop into some pillow talk though?
Yeah, let's get into some pillow talk. And you're going to let us know, so that means we may or may not have a
Yeah.
We won't, probably.
So we won't have a
Monday podcast.
We won't have a Monday podcast.
But we'll have a nice, juicy one
Yes.
when you come back. This is
Yeah.
going to be Nirum's podcast. Honestly, you and the people who are going should just do the podcast.
We should.
Would you be up for that?
Yeah, I'll ask them.
You can do the podcast that week, and then Nyambi. I don't even know. Like, I don't even want to interject in that space, right? Like, that feels something, especially both of you all being black men, that feels like a sacred space. And also, right, like, I wasn't there to experience it, so
Yeah.
I don't know what I could give. But that would be nice if y'all come back and did a podcast.
Well, they might be extending their trip though.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you can do it.
Yeah. So we can
When they
probably
come
do
back.
it next time. Yeah, when
Okay.
they come back.
Cool.
But I think it's I think this is my part. Like I'm trying to do my part to help. And they say that Pennsylvania is going to be like the tipping point, mainly
The battleground.
mainly the Philly district, which has the largest amount of people and the not that many polling stations.
Nope.
I think for Philly in general, I think there's only 5 polling stations.
That's crazy.
So it's just crazy.
For one of the biggest cities in America.
Right. So
Yeah.
wish me luck. Wish me safe travels. Let's do it.
Cool.
Let's hop into some pillow talk.
You want to talk about these BET Awards? Want to lighten it up a little bit?
Yeah, let's do that.
So it was okay. The 85 South Boys hosted it. Who is, I don't know who they are. They're the guys who they used to play on Wild 'N Out. I see all their faces. All I know is DC Young Fly. I don't know the other two gentlemen.
DC Young Fly, Chico Bean, and Carlos Miller.
Chico Bean's the one with the hair, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's the one that was just bald in the front.
I was like, why he got them side? I said, I thought this was one. I thought he was bald. Why he growing them little pieces of hair? What the topsy bopsy? But I thought, what you thought about them as hosts? Like, I don't, they're natural entertainers, or like, could they really do anything wrong? Like,
No.
what you thought about it? Sometimes, I'm not a big fan of physical comedy, so I only can watch so much DC fly, like moving his, like the way he's just a physical comedian, and I only can have so much of that. Like, it just becomes exhausting. Like, once I reach a certain age, like looking at him, I start to get tired.
Why you say that?
You never been, and not even just him. I don't want to pinpoint him, but like you never been around people who just be moving. You be like looking at you exhaust me. Like
Look at you exhaust me.
like looking at you, like you never just see people be moving. You be like sit down, or they'll be talking and they just be doing so much, and you just like, could you sit down?
So that's why my niece used to get on your nerves.
Oh.
When she used to play out every movie scene.
I'm like, can we just read a book? That's why I like children who read, because you really can't do too much bouncing with the reading. You got to be in quiet meditation. Then you got to comprehend what's going on. So I thought they were good. It was a good look, right? Like, I don't know what else thought you guys.
It was a nice little shout out to them. It was definitely exciting.
It was. It reminded me of a throwback of like. I'm sorry, I asked you what you thought. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No.
Yeah, I think that bringing them in is definitely a good look for them. I haven't listened much to their podcast, right? But I think just bringing them in was definitely a good look.
Yeah. So good for them. Hopefully it elevates them to wherever they need to be elevated to. What I was gonna say, it felt like their setup felt like a throwback to back in the day, like the 90s, early 2000s BT, where you'll have the host like in this. It felt like Tig in the basement. He literally was in the basement, or like Free and AJ looked like it was in the living room. Like it looked like they were in a place in the house, and it was just like I almost felt like the origins of podcasts. When you just literally at the kitchen table shooting the shit. Yeah. And they're like having commentary about what's going around. So that was super interesting how they did that. And I told Niram, like, wouldn't it have been cool if they just did like a throw? Like, why didn't Tig in the Basement host this?
Because
and like literally go back to that old set. Because it's like hip hop, like that's a legendary place when we're talking about the evolution of hip hop, especially on BET.
I hear you, but I think they're irrelevant for the time.
Really?
Yeah.
The Generation Z don't know about
No.
Did he still call himself Tigger?
Yeah, he still calls himself Big Tigger.
What's his name?
That
feels disrespectful.
Let's see what Big Tigger
for
name
me
is.
to call him Big Tigger. Tiger?
Tiger.
And was Tigger like for nigga?
I don't know.
So is Darian Big Tigger Morgan, is also known as Big Tig, is an American television radio personality best known for the host of BET's Rap City. He was on 106 & Park.
Yeah.
He's also one that does not get enough props. He definitely was influential in like those 90s and 2000, and he definitely was he was an influencer before it was installed to be an influencer. There's a lot of folks like that I don't think we put the respect on his name. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure he's getting the royalties, and I'm sure he has his own morning show. Like, he's fine, I'm absolutely sure. But when I think about that, I was like, he was one of the folks who really put like BET and stuff on the map. And like, I don't know, I thought it was just really good.
Yeah.
And I thought that would have been a nice, or even like a segment, right? Like, how do you do the hip hop awards and don't shout out Rap City? Like, why isn't the Cypher called Rap City?
Because it's Cypher. It's the Cypher.
No. Or Rap City presents the like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no homage, there's no history, there's no tradition. I know a Cypher is meant to be that.
Okay.
Oh, near I'm trying to Google Cypher.
No, I'm just letting you know.
What is it? What? Well, go near him. Near him won't be quiet. Go
no,
ahead.
it's not being quiet.
Let me.
But I think you are trying to find nostalgia that's not there.
I don't think it's nostalgia. I think us as a people sometimes lose tradition and history. That's what I'm saying. So, and I know you and Generation Z call it nostalgia, but it's called history. And when we lose our history as a people, we get lost in ourselves. I almost went deep, because these the same people who, when Barack Obama was elected, said we was in a post-racial society, and they ain't read not one history book.
But I think the reason that they have a Cypher is because of the basement, right?
Cool.
And the freestyle battles.
That's what I'm saying. So instead of calling it, say it what it is. Like, let people know the grounding in which it came from.
That's not cool and sexy, though.
That's all. But it can be. To know your history is very cool. To read is cool.
Huh? Big Tigger is not bringing in
I'm not
ratings.
Listen, in 75 North is?
Yeah.
Okay. Never mind. Let me not get no beef with 75 North because it's not about them. I just gave them their road.
85 South.
Whatever. What did I call
75 North.
What? Shout out to Chicago.
No, that's Detroit.
Detroit. Shout out to 75. 75 to get you all the way to Georgia.
I-75.
South. 75 South to get you from Detroit to Georgia. They call them 75 North.
Yes.
I'm sure they've been on that road too. But you,
I can't.
But you want to talk about some of the performances and all that, Niram? Which one do?
Yeah. So let's go straight to the cipher since you're talking about paying homage and things of that sort.
Yeah.
All the ciphers was, I think the main one.
Was there more than one cipher?
Yes.
I only seen one.
What was that?
Erykah Badu, Brandy, Tiana Taylor, and her. There was another cipher?
Yes, there were other ciphers.
I couldn't tell the difference between ciphers and niggas talking. That's not what I'm familiar with.
You own one today.
What you mean? What you said? I'm not on one. I just want someone to point to the cipher. Who was, you see, I didn't even write no other cipher.
I see.
Well, there needs no words. I'll first talk about my cipher, then you can stand for yours. Brandy, Erykah Badu, Tiana Taylor, and her.
First of all, you don't even like her, but now you came before.
Shit, she's a better rapper than half the niggas I've seen on this stage. I recommend she pursue it. I recommend she pursue it. You know I can't stand her be whispering. She wasn't whisper rapping though. She was very clear. Mm-hmm. They was ciphering over. Is that the word? Can I change to a verb? They was ciphering over Brandy, I Want to Be Down. Mm-hmm. And Brandy came through and gave a little piece of something too. That was still better than half the niggas who performed. Including the old niggas. I'm looking at you 2 Chainz and Lil Wayne. They really known better. Well, go ahead now. Talk about the other ones.
I'm trying to find the list of them.
Exactly. Not memorable, huh? Well, don't look at 2017. Because I used to remember all the ciphers were very memorable.
Yeah.
All I know is Brandy. They need to release it as a song. They need to do the remix.
Oh, Rhapsody did have a cipher.
Well, I don't remember hers, and I know she can sing good.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well.
Hello? What else?
Remember
I know the boy, somebody named Cordell or Corday.
Corday was the one. Rhapsody was the one.
Why do all the rappers have similar names? Corday, I feel like it's a lot of Cordays. I feel like it's a lot of Tigers, Ties. I feel like there's a lot of babies. How do you keep them straight?
Well, there's only one Corday.
Oh, I think it's somebody else, like with another C name or something like that. They all, or did he just change his look?
What you mean?
Oh, I feel like it looked like a different light skinned man every time he come on that stage. Is it Tip's son?
No.
Did he have a son named
Corday?
Yeah.
No.
Who does have a son named Corday? Snoop Dogg.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Is that him?
No.
Okay. I was about to say Snoop.
That's not Snoop Dogg. So.
Yeah. Okay.
But you also have Rhapsody. I agree. There are a lot of little babies, little somebodies,
It's a weird.
and a lot of babies.
It's a lot of skittle-haired people. It's a lot of dreadlocks. It's a lot. Lots. I shouldn't say dreadlocks.
Hey,
It's a lot of.
You turn into your mama. Like leave her hair alone.
It's nothing wrong with the lots, but it's a lot of the skittle colored that kind of don't like. It's just really.
That's the only way they can stand out.
But do you stand out when
Yes.
they all have the same red tips?
Because you can be like, is he the rude blue head one
What is?
or the yellow head one?
Because don't get me wrong, I love a lots. I'm thinking about getting sister lots, but like, if you're gonna have the lots, like I need you to be like, I need you to go to these. Y'all know what a laid lock look like, and you know what one with lint look like.
But that's the thing. That's the style, though. So the only way to stand out is to go ahead and color your head. So what they do is like,
and it's not about males and black males coloring their head. Like I wanted to just make that clear, but it's just like.
But that's the only way for them to stand out and to see if everybody looking the same and sounding the same.
But I argue like they look the same. Like that's what I'm saying. Like it becomes a prototype.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where I was like, wow, why do they all look like this?
And that's why they pick a color. Because they all gonna look the same. Because the thing about where I was listening to this at,
One
or
got
hearing
blonde,
this,
one got red.
the thing about like the internet and bringing people together and like these like late millennials and Gen Zers and whatever's after Gen Z,
Yeah.
is that before
Whatever
then,
after.
yeah, but like before then, you know, like you have your different segments of the rap game. So like
Yeah.
Detroit people had their own thing, Chicago had their own thing, DC had their own thing,
Yeah.
and so on and so forth.
Yes.
But I think with the internet and like everybody being a part of it
Yeah.
and TikTok and Instagram and things of that sort, like everybody is starting to sound the same and use the same vernacular versus like if you went to Detroit, you know, people like, oh nigga, you hoeing yourself, versus like they be down south and like, boy, you're wild. You know what I'm saying? Whereas now everybody is using the same vernacular.
True.
And like because of the internet, because the internet is bringing all these pieces together. So no matter if you're in DC, Detroit, California, or like Alabama, like, and if you're a female and you listen to City Girls, you're talking about Birkin bags.
Ooh, when that era gonna come through. Ooh, man, get out the way. Go sit down. Oh shit, she scared me.
She talking about me yelling the dog, but she over here hurting the dog.
She almost got ran over.
And she over here hurting our fucking dog.
Ooh, that make my blood pressure spike
But
up.
like that's the thing, like, and I think back in the day when you had to go like listen to CDs and tapes and records and shit, like the only thing that you really wanted is to find something different in your neighborhood, like you know. True. Like imagine being in Detroit and listening to the East Side Cheddar Boys and you hear about Slum Village and like finding something that's different. Whereas now the internet and like everything being viral, like everybody sounds the same because they're influenced by the same thing. So that's why everybody looks the same and have the same look because they're all influenced by
each other.
The same viral shit that's going on.
True. Okay, well, that's what I mean then. Like, that's what I was trying to say. Like, I wasn't trying to be offensive about, like, them, lots. Like, that's not the thing. But it's just like, so all y'all, like, is there a class? Like, what?
No.
Like,
so they're all going to look the same. And the thing is, like with the internet, when somebody else pop off, everybody's going to start looking like them.
And it looks like they took, like, a mogul class. Like, the people who be on YouTube, like, if you pay me $1,000, I'll show you how to be a rapper. And it looks like they all took the course.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what? That's why I said, oh, it's little
face tats
something.
And dreads.
It's like little something, a colorful lock that's unkept and like not even clean, right? I said, so all y'all, and that's what I meant by it. I said, all y'all lots look the same, dusty, dry with like everybody. It ain't like it's one or two. Like, okay, that's just his energy, right? Like it looks very intentional. That's what I'm saying. And I'm trying to figure out like, why is that the intention? That's what I'm missing is variety.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Nero, for that.
You're welcome.
Next.
One of the things, you know, because we are Detroit biased.
Yes.
Big Sean and Janae.
They're like two of my favorite people individually. But something's happened when them two come together in the same room that I just be like, Lord help them. Lord help them. Individually, y'all know I stand for Big Sean. Y'all know I love Janae and her whispering and the pussy fairies. Y'all know I stand for this girl. But if something happens when they come together on the same track, I don't know. I just be looking at them like, what was that?
And you had Ty Dolla $ign.
Oh my God. And then Ty Dolla $igns, it looked like they was just, and maybe this was they supposed to be like, it looked like they was up in their house in Detroit practicing in the bed. I said, what is this? And then Big Sean just came out with Detroit too that got bangers on it. No shade, right? I like Janae. She cool too. Loki, she just came out with an album that was sickening. Why did he pick that song to sing with her? Of all the songs, him and Ty Dolla $ign, of all the, why wasn't Lucky Me on there?
I don't know. Lucky Me is a banger.
Like, it just the energy of it, right? Like, what in the...
And truthfully, if niggas in Detroit wasn't beefing, it would have been good just to see the Friday Night Cypher.
Yes, with Cash Style and what's the T Grizzly, and then the other one. What's the other one?
Sada Baby,
the Choppers.
But you also got 42 Doug that was on there.
Yeah,
Royce the 5'9" was on there. Eminem was on there.
Yes.
So like having them and having like some of the other Detroit artists come in for.
Why wasn't that a cipher?
I think that might have been interesting.
That should have been the cipher, and they should have had that beat on the back, and that should have been the cipher.
But you know, too many niggas beefing. Cause Sada Baby and T Grizzly beefing, and I think Sada Baby also beefing with one of the other niggas too. I think he might be beefing with 42 Doug.
That's a lot. Should no one be beefing in Detroit? The winter's coming. It's too cold to fight. Where's my boy No Fly Zone?
Trick.
Trick, talk to these children. When I was in town, Trick was on the news helping the community.
He was. He's like, I'm going to give $10,000 for y'all can find out who the fuck killed this baby. He was on the news. This little baby ain't had shit to do with this. And y'all niggas talking about no snitching, none of the shit. I'm putting 10 bands up. Let me find the motherfucker who killed this baby.
Blood pressure has to be through the roof. So, Trick, I'm calling on you. No Flies on Detroit. Get them together. They getting in the way of their money. They getting in the way. Because, low-key, them Detroit rappers was better than these niggas who was up on there today. It was better than... I bet that cypher would have been memorable. Mm-hmm. They more talented than half them niggas who was up there looking like trolls.
Yeah.
They were. And this was the opportunity. And they getting caught up in their feelings. But yeah, Janae and Big Sean, I mean, they did good for what it was. But, like, say if I didn't listen to the album, I'm like, oh, that was cute. Like, Black Love Matters. I love that. But listening to Detroit, too, that was a bad move.
Yeah.
Low-key, you know what? I wish they would have just came up there and sang I Know. From what, 5 years?
Oh, my God.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
I'd rather them just sing that
Not
song.
that old ass song.
Instead of this, what? Because Ty Dolla $ign wasn't neat at all. It was like a weird threesome happening. I was like, where he going? They in the bed. Is he coming in the bed? Because, you know, they free flowing. Mm-hmm. So, you know, Ty might have laid across the bed, too. What is this? Then I don't know if Big Sean out in California with the fires on the outside. Like, that felt a little tone deaf to me. But being from California, I was like, people's house is literally on fire. Like, be careful. Like... But still, of all those critiques, it's still one of the best performances. That's Nero. You talk about your legends, because I don't got much to say. Talk about your legends. So this is who you call your kings.
Lil Wayne and fucking... Is my dog all right?
Why you say... Let me go check on her.
You done ran over her foot on this computer chair. How's her foot? She's fine. You sure?
Yeah, I'm touching them all. She okay.
Okay. Now she looking all sad. You done fucked her up.
Ooh. Okay, come on. Look, give an inch, take a mile. Now she thinks she gonna get in my lap. Go ahead now.
So 2 Chainz and Lil Wayne. Mm-hmm. Deep sigh.
Deep sigh. They did the best they could, I guess.
It looked like because I left out the room. And all I hear is Naomi, what the fuck is this discount Beyonce homecoming? And I was like, what you talking about? And I looked at it and I was like, oh, it is very homecoming-esque.
But bad.
It was bad.
So bad. They should have stuck, because I know the song broke and they went to this famous, I forgot her name. She's a famous poet, which was bomb. And they did this whole like skit where it's like black ballerinas and they changed the beat. Like that was beautiful. But like that whole HBCU big band, it just, I think when you do the HBCU big band, you gotta have a band. Yeah. You can't have 4 people. It don't bang the same.
No, it don't.
And I know COVID, you can only do so much. Well, you shouldn't have did that then.
Right.
Or you should have had them on the screen behind you and had that as the backdrop and just you two in the front.
Yeah. But even like that little pyramid that Beyonce had, they even had like a, and I was like, what are y'all doing?
They was on a pyramid. Well, no, it wasn't no pyramid. It was some stadium seats. It was some football seats. And then somebody drew a poster with a fist. I said, is these the same niggas who be talking about Gucci down to the socks? They should have invested. Mm-hmm. They should have asked City Girls if they can have some money. Mm-hmm. Birkin.
Well, talk about City Girls.
City Girls?
With my kitty talk.
Kitty talk, pussy talk. I didn't realize. I was like, why they dressed up like leopards? It didn't even connect. It didn't connect to me. Like, I didn't realize the song was called Pussy Talk and they turned to Kitty Talk. And I'm trying to just be careful. Actually, later on this segment, what we're talking about, we're going to talk about like black women and how we treat each other. So I'm going to just hold my peace. Again, I think just like the critique we give the men, I think women in hip hop are also following the prototype. And there's nothing wrong with a city girl. But just do everybody got to be city girls? And I think that's why I'm appreciative of the Rhapsody and some of the other. I only can name Rhapsody, honestly. Is there somebody else who is not a city girl?
Armani Caesar.
I don't know her.
Her
is not a rapper.
Chica.
Her is a R&B Chica, right? Like, you know, so maybe it is a little bit more diversity when it comes to women in the hip hop realm. But
Remy Ma.
Remy Ma is retired. She's taking care of them children, honey. Okay, Remy Ma is retired.
Just put out an album, so I know Remy coming soon.
No, Remy is taking care of them children and making her coinage as a host with a regular check. Remy Ma's a cubicle warrior. Making a bag. You hear me? A bag. She's funding the city. Okay? So, Remy, don't waste your time. It's okay.
All right, back to City Girls and pussy talking Birkins.
I just don't know what to say. Like, I'm happy this is their first performance together. They're beautiful girls.
What's that song? I'm a job. Bitch, I don't work jobs. I am a job.
I don't have much to say. I don't know a lot of. All right, where's City Girls from?
Atlanta.
That's what I'm saying. I can't even tell where they're from. What you got to say? I don't have nothing to say.
It was nice to look at.
I like it.
Nasty but classy. Birkin bag me. Spend couple thousand on my titties and my ass cheeks.
Period.
Got my teeth done. Cash at me.
Ain't no wrong with your teeth done.
Sneak dissing on the gram. Bitch at me. Where my bad bitches looking for an athlete. Fashion Nova dresses ain't wearing no panties.
This sounds like a 15-year-old girl journal.
Dope boy scamming nigga where they at.
This sounds like the shit.
I just seen 100 bottles coming from the bag.
This sounds like the shit Issa Rae used to rap about on YouTube. You silly. You hurt people's ears. This feel like the shit. You know what I'm talking about on Awkward Black Girl?
Yeah.
Where she be in the mirror.
I don't work job, bitch. I am a job, period.
If you don't like it, take a hike. Pay me for a suck and slop, bitch. I'm rich ass bitch with an attitude.
Nah, yeah, but you gotta say it like you gotta use your best city girl
I'm a
voice.
rich ass bitch with an attitude.
I'm a rich ass bitch with an attitude.
We're done.
Pipe it down for I whoop.
But let's talk about some positive
whoop
things.
it like your mama do. I don't work job, bitch. I am a job.
But listen, they out of jail and they done made their performance, and a lot of people was like, you probably ain't gonna make it after the jail. And they did.
Damn.
So shout out to the City Girls. Big Lotto and Gucci Mane was at Magic City. Big Lotto and Gucci Mane.
Yep. Gucci.
Yep.
I'm a real ass, trill ass bitch from the South.
And
But Big Lotto be giving it. Like, her shit be dope.
Yeah, I'm more of a fan of Big Lotto than City Girls. Yeah.
Even though she be remixing all the songs. Like, if that's her thing, like, just go with it. Remix all of the 2000
trap, yeah.
2000 to 2010
I think that's why her audience is a little more old. Like, I think different people gravitate towards Big Lotto compared to City Girls. So. Like the City Girl, I mean, they just
I don't work jobs, bitch. I am a job.
I mean, I can relate. But Gucci and her did Gucci and her things. She was huffing and puffing. The girls were working. The only question I had about the categories is they had best lyricist, the baby.
Yeah.
The one who sings Suge.
Yeah.
What's the lyric?
Let's go.
Also, for the Impact Award, they gave it to Master P.
But I'm glad they gave it to Rhapsody. Truthfully,
I said Master. Oh, you mean I said Master P.
The best lyricist.
Oh, they
truthfully there are other lyricists that they aim in there. Like all the niggas from Griselda should have been there.
Yeah.
Like Benny, fucking Westside, Conway, all them niggas from Griselda. Hell, Black Thought just put out an album. That nigga should have been on the best lyricist.
You know what? You're hitting it near him. Because usually, traditionally, when I think about the hip hop awards, I literally go there to learn a lot, and I leave a fan of new people. And I think this year that did not happen, and that's the surprising thing for me. I think the BET Awards is more of the mainstream, the Drakes. I would expect Drake's, the City Girl, all of them to be there because they're like more mainstream success. But Hip Hop Awards is really where I got a lot of more of the underground artists, more of the lyricists. And I don't know if they're just going away from that. That's what I miss. Honestly, that's why I like to watch the Hip Hop Awards because it brings me up to date on that type of stuff. And don't get me wrong, we do bops, but it did seem like it was missing some more of those, just diversity. Like it was lacking diversity a lot.
Yes.
And I think it was just unbalanced, right? Like I think for a piece of it is okay, but not for the whole show to be so slanted in that type of hip hop.
Yeah,
was rough.
Because I think that's the thing. Because like Papoose came out with an album, Reason came out with an album.
How he went on there?
Like I think about all the other people that came out that are like lyricists.
Yes.
Like hell, like Royce the 5'9" album came out earlier this year. Nas
Yeah.
came out with an album this year,
Did they just gracefully decline?
and it's
Maybe.
like, so y'all ain't gonna even pick none of these niggas, but
And
y'all
they-
pick the baby.
Yeah. Or not even for, like, just to be around. It just had a different energy. And, you know, it's COVID. We can give everyone grace. Maybe next year they'll get their stuff together and say that was going to be canceled. But that's what was missing for me. Like, every hip hop award, either through the Cypher, a performance, or award category, I find myself adding somebody new to Spotify. This year, that did not happen.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, thank you for your service. Oh, take that back. A close second in the Cypher was my boy, Beanie Man. Oh my God, Jamaica still brings it.
Jamaica was dope.
Jamaica was dope. Jamaica was sickening. I got my life, and the two women. Actually, I should take it back. Those two women I did look up. But that's it. But I would argue the people in Jamaica, them OGs, right? Like they ain't no new. Like I'm sure. What is it? Beanie Man and them could do that in they sleep.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't hard, right? Like he's an icon when it comes to that type of stuff.
I'm just even like looking at the categories, right?
Yeah.
And it's almost the same. It's like the same five
people.
So best hip hop artist of the year: Baby, Drake, Future, Lil Baby, Megan Thee Stallion, Roddy Ricch. Best hip hop video: you had the Baby, Drake,
Lil Baby,
Roddy
Roddy
Ricch.
It's literally 3 people nominated in that category.
Because the Baby got 2 videos and Drake got 2 videos.
And then the Baby and Roddy Ricch is featured on the other one.
Yes.
So they got 2. Like it's literally only 3 artists in that.
Song of the year: Bop, that's the Baby. Drake, Rockstar, that's the Baby. Savage, that's the Megan Thee Stallion.
The Bots,
The
Roddy
Bots,
Ricch.
Roddy Ricch again. And then Drake. So it's like literally
Drake.
like you got Drake, the Baby, Megan Thee Stallion, and Roddy Ricch
Drake.
in that category.
The same 4 people keep winning.
Hip hop album
The
of the year:
Baby.
The Baby.
The
I'm blaming
Baby.
The Baby.
He had 2 CDs.
Yeah, he had 2 CDs. The
In
Baby,
2020?
The Baby.
Or was it 2019?
2019. Future, Lil Baby, Megan Thee Stallion, and Roddy Ricch. Same people. Best collaboration: The Baby and Roddy Ricch, Future and Drake, Jack Harlow with Tory Lanez. I know he wasn't gonna. Jack Harlow with Tory Lanez, The Baby, Lil Wayne. That wasn't gonna get it because it's Lil Wayne. I mean, not Lil Wayne, The Baby in there. Megan Thee Stallion and Beyonce, and then you had another one with Megan Thee Stallion, Nicki Minaj, and Ty Dolla $ign, and then Mustard and Roddy Ricch. Like it's the same people over and over again.
Interesting.
Best duo: Chris Brown and Young Thug, City Girls, Earth Gang,
That's kind of disrespectful.
Jack
They won.
Boys, Run the Jewels.
Like this is what yeah, I agree.
Best new hip hop artist. Of course, they're gonna get at the Pop Smoke,
Smoke,
R.I.P.
yeah.
Best live performance. There hasn't been any live
Oh, Big
performances.
Sean got there. Where was he performing at?
I don't know. I don't know what best live performance mean when we've been in COVID for a very long time.
Shout out to Tiana Taylor though. Tiana Spike Taylor. Like she won best video director.
So where I'm at now, lyricist of the year. And like this is where I'm like, it's upsetting because I think this could be so much more. Big Sean, The Baby, Drake, J. Cole, Meg Thee Stallion, and Rhapsody. I'm
Big Sean on the fence. It depends.
on the fence with Big Sean because his album just came out like 2 months ago.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
So like
And I'm a
how he
stan,
became how he even become a category for lyrics of the year.
Yeah.
When his album only came out 2 months ago and he's been on like an album hiatus since then.
Yeah.
So this is almost like, from what I see from this, it's pretty much a commercial for the shit that's out right now.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
And like I don't know, it's and then like the same people get it. Like DJ of the year, of course you're gonna give it to D Nice. Like his ass, like
only
took
works-
over. His ass took over Corona. All these other niggas ain't nobody. DJ Drama, DJ Envious ain't doing shit at 105.9, whatever shit called.
Yes, he is collecting checks and properties.
DJ Khaled not even a real DJ.
He
and then
with them
Mustard.
cute ass kids
So like,
living their life.
of course you're gonna give it to D Nice. Like
I see you.
producer of the year, of course you're gonna give it to Hit Boy. Hit Boy has produced Big Sean's album, Benny the Butcher's album, Nas' new album, and pretty much anything else out that's hot right now, of course you're gonna be that. Yeah. But like some of these, like Hustler of the Year, what the fuck does that even mean?
All right, Nero, give him a read.
Like it's, I don't know, some of this shit is stupid.
Yeah.
Best hip hop platform, just to give it to the Joe Budden podcast. Like some of this shit don't even mix together. Complex, which is like used to be a magazine, but now they're a website.
Like if they're gonna do a podcast,
Hip-Hop
that should be its own thing. Yeah.
Hot new hip hop, the Breakfast Club, the Shade Room, and Triple XL, and you got Joe Budden podcast in the middle of that. Like,
yeah,
how
it's weird. Nero is a little upset.
I'm just saying, like, it just don't make sense. And like when you look at it, it's just stupid.
Yeah.
It's dumb. And like if that's the case, like let's just do live concerts or like give me these music videos. But like these categories, they don't mean shit. And it's dumb.
Yeah, it's kind of
because it's the same 15 people doing the same shit.
I agree. I'm with you. Ooh, Nero, I'm ready.
No, because it's just irritating.
Nero, I'm ready, honey.
How you talked about like how these kids looking the same, but like look at the platform we got.
Yeah, for the music lover, it got to be super exhausting.
Like, look what the platform we got. And it's just playing like the same radio. It's not even radio because it's the same Spotify playlist shit.
Yeah.
That they just been doing.
Yeah. I agree.
Now I'm over here like Mabel.
Now you growling.
And then, never mind.
And then what?
Never mind. Pass.
Shout out to Master P. You gonna talk about the Impact Award?
I fast forward through it.
Don't do that.
I did. It was long.
Master P be dropping gems.
He do be dropping gems, but I was like, I can't do this.
He a little long-winded. I think they should have gave it to him earlier in the show. And also, where was the Master P tribute?
Yeah.
I would have loved to see that.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't care if they have that. Like, I think the No Limit people are still young enough. They could have got up there and did something. Or you could have had, who was it? Ty Dolla $ign. I don't care. No. Roddy Ricch and them.
Could have had Romeo ass do it.
Oh my God. To pay Percy Miller. What the Empire?
Yes.
To the Empire.
Have Romeo do it.
He remind me of Hakeem.
But who I do want to shout out though, who had a hell of a performance.
Who?
Toby.
Yes, that's your boy. He did do. Yes, I shouldn't say it wasn't all the bus. Toby did do well.
Toby.
He always delivers so.
And I'm excited. I'm happy for him, man, because he on the up.
Is he nominated for any category?
No.
He should have got best live performance from what he did with the virtual community.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like the people who's supposed to get awards don't even get it.
Okay, Little Richard.
I'm just saying.
R.I.P. You remember Little Richard used to say all the time, they'll be giving me my awards. I'm the founder, the architect, all this, and they give me a motherfucking award. But you want me to come here and sing.
They about to do that to fucking Stevie Wonder. They ain't give his ass shit.
They could have just canceled this and just did a Stevie Wonder tribute.
Something.
They could have just canceled the Hip Hop Awards and just gave a whole ass tribute to Stevie Wonder, and that would have been more productive.
Yeah, but like I'm excited for Toby. Like I can put on my cape for him all day. Like the fact that even like most of the staff is all black women.
Yep.
And like how he just like move in that space. And like how he just put out dope stuff. Yep. His producer is a black woman. Like, you know, his dancers are black women. So it's just dope. And the way he just, you know, the way he just stand up nigga.
Yeah, and the way he reps his wife. I'm here for all of them. I agree. Well, y'all go check it out. I said it was okay. And I'll be honest, it was okay.
Yes.
Cool. What we gonna get in? We gonna get into black. We want to talk about black women or celebrity in COVID. We want to talk about black women.
It's up to you.
Nero, what you feel? Let's talk about black women.
Okay.
Because I think if we wait till when you come back, it might be too late. What you think?
All right.
So I don't know. Well, first and foremost, can we just give a shout out to Kim Wayans for bringing back Bonita Bertel? You know what I'm talking about from whatchamacallit?
Living Color.
Living Color, when she be like, not as quiet as it clips. I ain't the one to gossip. Hey, baby, how you doing? Yeah. I ain't the one to gossip, but that bitch over there stank. You be like, what? And it was hilarious. She brought it up. I think it's on YouTube on Black Cinema Comedy or something like that. And it was a good 3 minutes. And I got my entire life. Nero, play like a couple seconds of it so we can hear. First of all, Kim Wayans is a legend, an icon, and she's aging backwards too. She looks like the same thing she did in the early 90s and 80s. Don't she look the same? Oh, there she go.
Jenkins. That's a national
Miss Jenkins done passed.
Hell, you.
She getting so sad now because Miss Jenkins done passed. They done gave her some bad news.
That's what I listen. That's what my yanking leg is. Fine woman.
Because she's supposed to be helping getting the vote out. And she talking
Just don't let her use your bathroom. Women's booty so stank, a coochie packed up and left the country. I ain't want to die with you. You ain't even going to
So y'all can check that out on YouTube, the full one. It's like 4 minutes long. It's called Black Cinema Now, and it's titled Kim Wayans Revives in Living Color Benita Bertel. But like, so the setup was she was like helping with the poll, and I imagine her in Philly and coming down to people, and I guess someone was like, Miss Jenkins done passed. And she said, no, Lord, no, she's such a good woman, did her. But don't be letting her use a bathroom. And the reason, first of all, I want to just give her, Kim Wayans, her flowers because she's so funny and she hasn't aged and she's iconic. But I thought about her when I also watched Red Table Talk this week with, our girl Jada, Queen Jada. She had Jamil Hill and Kari Champion. They were on there. And what they were talking about was about black female rivalry. And one of the subjects that came up was, and, I want to unpack that a little bit later, but how us as women, like black, especially black women, we learn to interact with each other. And one of the examples they pulled was like, sometimes we learn from our mothers and our elders of like this lack of trust and distrust for each other, because in one breath they're like, hey baby, yeah, I love you, girl. All right, see you later. Well, that nasty bitch. I don't know. And like it clicked in for me, like, yeah, that does happen. And then that came out. I was like, oh my goodness, like these are things that of course that's comedy, what Kim Wayans is doing, like that's straight comedy, but like the comedy always comes from a place of truth. And like, how much of that do we have to unlearn to navigate through that space? I thought it was just super, super interesting. I recommend y'all check it out. But for y'all who don't know, Jamil Hill and Kari Champion, like, they burrow for like newscasters for like sports, like beasts in their field. And way back when, they actually had them more pitted against each other, right? Because it was like vying for this position. And like, I love how they like talked about that and unpacked that and like spoke their truth on that. And then Kari talked about how Jamil was like, no, sis, let's get together. Let's hang out. Let's come on, let's be with the Judies. Don't talk to them. Talk to this person. But Kari was more like, if she's setting me up, I don't know what to do. And Jamil's like, no, sis, it's only so many of us. Like, we need to stick together. So I loved how they even explicitly talked about the evolution of their friendship. And then the way Kari framed it was like, of course I was hesitant at first, but Jamil's actions were so pure, right? And always came through. So it made it easy friendship. So I love how they unpacked that. But like, it was just a lot of other themes to go there, right? So they were really talking about like this mean girlness that is unspoken in the black woman community, and how sometimes, why are we just beyond rivalry, right? Because I think rivalry can be productive, right? I think competition can be productive, right? But when rivalry or competition becomes toxic, when there's a lack of compassion and love for each other, like that's when it gets bad. And I really thought it was a super interesting conversation to see. And like I said, Niram, I know only so much you can talk about, but I'm sure you can do more as a male on the outside looking in, getting that opinion. And then hopefully some folks write in and also leave voicemails to unpack this more with me. But some of the key things that stood out is where they were talking about how a lot of this internal rivalry or nice nastiness is more of that like internal judgment that is then projected on other folks, right? So what's the saying? Usually what you don't like in other people, you don't like in yourself. What you don't like in yourself. And like, where do we learn that, and how do we project that? And like, why do we got to put that out on folks so many times? And not that you can't say things out loud, but do you have to do it without compassion, right? Like, it's not that you can't critique for someone. It's not that you can't say these things, but how are you doing it actively with compassion? And something that Jamil stood out was that when she was even connecting with Kari, that it's only a few of us, so we got to be friends, or at least friendly. And I think especially in the corporate setting, I think it does go those party lines. I think you have more folks who are a little more Kari, who are like, oh, I don't know, girl, we can play it out. And then it's Jamil, like, this the playbook, how can we do it? Right. And I definitely could identify with Jamil, like, where it's just like, listen, I'm always in settings where it's literally 5 black women for the whole damn company, or even little. So I do think it's so important for us to be in lock and step and moving forward and giving each other the tea. And not even just black people, I think, and just helping each other, right? Because there's no use in us going back and forth, right? And pretending to this imaginary competition. And also, I never think it's nothing wrong for us to just be us talking, because white people are always in meetings with just white people. Yep. So, like, I know sometimes people have hesitancy to be like, oh, should all the black people be meeting what it look like? I would say majority of meetings I go to is all white people. So, and I'm sure there are settings where it's just y'all in there, and what does that mean? But other things that they got, again, these are just like points that just stood out to me during the process, was them unpacking this idea. So after Jamil says that, like I said, I can identify more, and I'm trying to be more compassionate and identify with folks on the other side of the gamut who's like, you got to protect yourself. They start unpacking this idea of survival over sisterhood. And like when you're in these corporate settings or in these competitive settings, like sometimes you just trying to survive and you don't got to worry about sisterhood. And of course all the ladies at the end came to say those two can be in lockstep. There can be a sisterhood and there can be survival, but like we again have to be together. And I think also in those settings, that's when you learn who ride with you, right? Like, and Jamil had the example where she said some very strong comments and truthful comments about President Trump, and they got her out of there. And then Kyra's like, I had a decision to make. I could just be under the radar. I didn't have to say anything. I didn't have to do anything, right? But instead, I decided to stand by her, right? And that's something that's huge. And like, that's when folks get nervous, right? Because they see like, man, if they do it to that person, I know they can destroy me too.
Yep,
but
they will.
They will. Like, it's almost getting to that. But the idea of it, and I love how they were unpacking this, they going to destroy you one way or the other. So if you're going to get destroyed, you might as well go something on, at least on your core values going out the game. So it was just so interesting to see that conversation. And honestly, as even black women, who ride for you in certain settings when the fire hit it, right? Like, it's always, what's it called? My ears stand up. Like, say if something going down and you had on people to be like, what happened? And especially if it's including white people, race, all that type of stuff. And they be like, well, what happened? Maybe they're just trying to do their job, right? Like, to me, that always comes out as like internalized oppression. Because it's like white people are going to white. And like when black people in certain corporate settings or other settings don't know how to navigate that space, it shows, right? And being scared shows, and not standing together. And then you just kind of, what's it called? Crumble apart. I don't know, Niram. Would you have thoughts on that? Is that similar for males? But I think males are more vocal. I think males are more vocal and willing to stand firm or be more upfront to be like, I ain't doing this at all.
Yeah.
Where women, I think it's more of like, yeah, we can be friends, but I don't know if I can do this. But girl, it's just tough.
And I think that really comes down to like the internalized of like, y'all got to be ladylike. So like, this is where
internalized misogyny.
That whole nice, nasty shit come at, because it's like, y'all can't really show y'all true competitive nature and realize like, we're not competing against each other. We competing with each other.
Yes.
Like we can be on a different team and still compete with each other.
Exactly. And still help, right? And like the networks is so small. And look, you need to be more worried about the white person next to you.
Yes.
Because they're not lifting you up, right? They're not giving you the tea. They're not telling the things that happen. And oftentimes, like when stuff happens in corporate settings or different settings, like that happens to a black person, right? Like there's very few people who like stand up and push forward compared to if something like that happened to a white colleague or a counterpart. In a setting, they'll have whole movements behind them, right? Like just those types of things and the differences that I think sometimes we lose it, right? Like sometimes we really have like this moral compass that's just in the wrong direction, I think.
Yes, I think so.
No, you said, yeah.
No, I agree. Like I think that moral compass is in a different direction.
It's in a different direction, and it's for the wrong crew of people, like that don't have a moral compass with you.
Yes.
Go ahead.
As well as, it's the eternalized. And I think the other thing is just, I think there's a level of like having that, all skin folk ain't kinfolk, but also knowing that like your people, right?
Yeah.
And being able to help people at the same time.
Yes.
And knowing like, then they're going to be on some bullshit or whatever, yeah. But still the cost is still the cost.
The cost is still the cost, right? Like a lot of conversations I have with like peers or colleagues and stuff because people constantly like, Nayamba, you can't be, connecting with people and doing this because they're going to fuck up and they're going to make you look bad. I was like, first of all, can't nobody make me look bad. I'm going to be what I'm going to do, right? But the true tea is I already look bad to the white people. No, like, you thinking you look good
right.
to the oppressor, where you already 3 notches below. So you might as well help your kinfolk while you navigating through.
Like, that's what I'm saying. That's the greater good. That's the idea of being a stepping stone. Is it some niggas gonna fuck up? Yeah. But you're gonna have one or two that's not. And the one or two that's not is worth progressing for. And that is more of an extremist idea. But that goes back to being an individualist or being more about the community. Right? Like, and it's not enough of us. That's what I'm saying. It's not enough for us to focus so individually on that without thinking of bringing somebody along with you on the journey. How you gonna do it?
Right.
So that's something to unpack. Other things that they talked about too that was super, super interesting, that I never coined this term, but I loved how they did the performative sisterhood. If this is not a word, this happens so many times in corporate and sororities. You know, this is like the chief diversity officer or the diversity training guru that's like, yeah, we're going to do this. This is amazing. This is for our people. And I got you, right? Then you're flipping like, listen, sis, this is going on. I need some help. I'm booked. Ooh, why don't you just do what they say? Ooh, I don't know. Or this is the ones who are in like leadership positions and you be like, oh, okay, we're going to do this and this. Oh, you did that work? Okay, get that over to me. And then now they're going to go talk in front of everybody like, look what I did. Look how I moved forward. This is what we doing. And you be like,
I did all that.
sis, could you just mention my name?
Right.
Sis, could you just bring me to the meeting at least? Sis, can you help me with my development? So this idea of performative sisterhood also leads to this idea of distrust and not connecting deeper to it too. Also, what they talked about is what we learned is from our mothers and elders. And that's why I was going back to Miss Bonita to say, like, our mothers or our women elders are our first feminine mirror. So everything we learn, right, is when we're at this young age and see how you're supposed to show up for each other, right? You see when you at church or your mama talking to her alleged best friend and then go talk a whole bunch of mess after her, right? Like, you then get the mental model like, oh, that's what the healthy friendship looks like. Right? Or you see your mama don't have close connections to be like, oh, well, that's probably what friendship is, and really doing that. And or the idea that a lot of times, especially the mother-daughter relationships, on how distrust and traumas and pain from mothers that mothers have can be passed down. Right. So there's nowhere for it to go as a Black woman. You can't give it to like your male counterparts. You can't go out. So you give it to the mirror, the thing that look like you, right? You give it to your daughter. And what the tension then becomes is a lot of them Black mothers I've seen, or allegedly, right, then take offense to be like, well, didn't I do the best I can do? Well, what are you complaining about? Ain't you doing good? And a lot of times from being a daughter on the other end, it's like, oh, I'm not saying you didn't do the best you can do. I'm not saying that you weren't the best mother you can. But for me to process through this, I need to talk through this. I need you to at least be open to talking through this. This
Right.
isn't, I'm not saying you're a good, bad mother, auntie, grandma, guardian, but can we like process through this thinking so I can then do the harm, right? The mental harm that was done to me, right? It's not your job to undo that mental harm, but like as I'm going through my process, like there's no healing across that line. Because in actuality, even if we look at some of the statistics and even the women who are on this show, like a lot of them came from younger mothers, right? So they having these babies at 19, 20, if not younger. So you're raising a child as you're still raising yourself. So your child is honestly seeing you through these constant evolution of from girl to womanhood. That, yeah, you are. I imagine you're going to fuck up. Right. And I imagine you're going to say some trifling shit. And I imagine you're going to displace plane in different areas that you wouldn't expect a more tenured woman who's clear and confident on who she is. Right. It takes time to get there. And it's like nothing happens to it's almost like not acknowledged. Like, well, yeah, you did some fucked up shit at 25, like at 20, right? Or whatever how old you was. Compared to you now in your 50s and 60s. Yeah, you a whole different bitch. Excuse me. So like that was just so cool. But what a point that I did like that I haven't thought about the most, that I think Jada Mother was like, yes, we hear you, but the thing is, when we hear this, Black women, we've been wrong so many times and told we're wrong always, that it hurts even more if your daughter, your blood, who you took care for, right, you came from your loins, say you didn't wrong me. And it's like, well, fuck, I ain't do nothing right. Right? Like, it's like that. So that did give me a little bit of, like more compassion, and like, it's a lot. Like it was just how much, and even you just touched on it, Aram, how much internalized oppression and misogyny
that Black women have because of the intersectionality that we're playing. Like, it was good. Again, I know I just gave like a lot of snippets of that, but low key, what Nyambi come from it is like sometimes our standards are so unrealistic of like what we need to be for each other, if that makes sense. Like, I'm like, damn, you think white women sitting around doing this?
No, yeah, they are kind of.
What they saying? What they doing there? You tell me. I'm not privy to white women conversations. They stop talking when I walk in the room. They're like this. It's Nyambi. Like, it's a reckoning. Maybe that's happening for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
But like, shit happens sometimes. Like, I really wish we could just give us like grace. Like, that is like my overall theme. Because honestly, one of the great questions they asked, I was gonna ask you, Niram, what's the worst portrayal a woman ever gave you? Like, what was the worst portrayal like you've ever experienced via a woman? Ain't that a?
Mm-hmm.
Can you think of one? People saying everything. They're saying mamas, everybody, girlfriends, friends, all of that.
What you got?
I would say one of my like super best friends ghosted me, and that felt like a betrayal. Because I would say, honestly, y'all know I always got something to say, but for the most part, I'm super lucky to be surrounded by a lot of supportive women. Don't get me wrong, I got some trash ones. I done seen the prototype of what trash can be and what not loving yourself is, and I done seen that. But I've also been able to see what it is to love yourself, who you are, to be in loving relationships, to demand more. Like, I've seen that, and I think it served me so good to see that variety of it, to be like, oh, it's a diaspora of what it means to step in your womanhood. And I think that is definitely where I'm spoiled at. That is definitely where my privilege sits at, because I know that is a lot of women that don't have that experience. And not only having women show up in their power, but having men respect the women who then show up in their power, right? So however the women that has been in my life who have impact, men then what is the word I'm looking for? Like, double down to say, yes, stand in your power, right? Like, it's not an area where, because that can happen too, and that can be just as toxic. So I'm more lucky where I think that, and after I was reflecting, that's why I am willing to go in like corporate settings or new settings to be like, oh yeah, let's be homegirls. We friends now. We can do this, right? Yeah. It don't feel like a rivalry or competition. Like, I've never had that urge. When honestly, I get more uncomfortable when it ain't nobody else in the room that look like me, because I feel like I'm not doing my service. If I'm in that room a year and I'm still the only Black person in the room, or person of color or woman, I'm not doing the service. Like, I'm doing something wrong, because I need to figure out how to get somebody else up at that table. I can't depend on the oppressor to free the oppressed. So like, that's always been my mind frame, and I'm privileged on it. And I know everyone doesn't think that. I actually have an abundance of healthy female relationships, right? Like, even the friend who like ghosted me, right? Like, I don't lose sleep at night because I know it ain't had nothing to do with me. Right? That's not what that is, right? There are folks I haven't talked to that I literally can call up and be like, hey, this is what's going on. Like, I didn't end any situation with females in a negative way. Like, that's why sometimes it throws me off when females be like, I don't be fucking with many females. I be like, damn, I really don't be fucking with many niggas. Because niggas is niggas. Niggas gon' nigga. Right? Like, it's how are you in the same breath be like, niggas, all niggas cheat, they do all this, right? But you can hang around a gang of niggas. You don't have any female relationship. That puts always a red flag with me when like females start off with that, right? You know, if we get to know each other, we become more intimate, that's different. But like, if that's the starting point of like, I really don't have many women friends because they keep shit going, I'm like, what? I don't even know what you're talking about. Like, it don't even connect to me. It has red flags immediately. Like, you don't know how to. That's a flag to me that. Never mind. I'm a therapist.
Oh.
That like, so what woman hurt you? Like, what woman told you weren't good enough? What about your womanhood that you weren't proud of, that you don't want to see reflected? That when you see other women, you cringe inside. Ooh. Because I love being surrounded by other women. Like that fills me up. Like, feminine energy is powerful. And it's a great weapon to have. Look at y'all with the kitty talk. That's all them girls got to say to you. They got your rap, honey.
Barking.
Kitty talk.
I don't work jobs. Bitch ain't my job.
So like, that's where I don't necessarily have I don't identify with that. Can I understand? Yes, but I don't necessarily identify with it. Yeah. But overall, I think my thing is I want to be grateful and just give grace. Even the friend, super good friend that ghosted me, she could call me tomorrow and I'd be like, I forgive you.
I wouldn't.
I would. Everyone deserves time. Everyone deserves a break. I forgive you. Cool. What's been up?
I don't work job, bitch. I am a
What's
job.
your thought on this? I just want a conversation. I was a Nyambi keep highlights and points.
That was Nyambi's corner right there.
What you think about this
As
overall?
a black man, I don't want to woman-splain nothing. So,
You ain't woman-splain nothing.
I'm just letting y'all. I'm letting you cook, baby girl.
What was
I
it?
think?
Go ahead.
No, I do think like talking about performative sisterhood is definitely an interesting conversation, right? Because
Sisterhood take time, honey.
It does.
Community development take time.
It does. Just building the know, like, and trust factor of someone, right?
Yeah.
And really getting to know someone takes time.
Yeah.
And it's like, using that phrase like sisterhood or bro and shit like that
Yeah.
can definitely like lead you down the path
Yeah.
of reckoning.
Yeah. I don't know, it's something. Again, I always unpack. I tell you the thing that keeps standing out to me when other females be like, I don't mess with other women. It sounds, I hear people say that, it's the same thing when I hear black people be like, I don't mess with other black people because they ghetto. And I'm like, oh, beloved, you hate yourself.
Yes.
Like,
You hate yourself.
that's what I hear. Like, that's what, like, literally in my head. Like, when black, like, because we were like, what do you mean you don't no black people? You don't mess with no women?
At all.
Oh, beloved, you hate yourself.
I don't work jobs, bitch. I am a job.
Oh my goodness, y'all let me know. Don't be tearing me up too bad, but y'all let me know what y'all thoughts. I can receive feedback. I'm happy to.
Yeah, y'all can go ahead and send that voicemail to 508-784-1111.
What do you think? Was I too slanted on
No,
that?
I'm just letting them leave spot. I'm trying to open the window for
What I've
conversation.
said, has that been reflective? What do you
Yes,
think?
I was very reflective. I'm over here trying to figure out what's my worst woman betrayal.
Ooh, that's the hard one, y'all.
That
What is
is.
the worst? I think this is more. You can ask men, but ask your closest girlfriends. Like, what was the worst betrayal you've had from a woman? And who, what, when, why, how, and what impact did that then have on you?
I think
what
about
did
that
that
baby
then shift
scare.
you? Yeah,
And like
yeah.
how I had to go get that paternity test and all that other stuff.
How
So
trust
she-
was broken.
and how she didn't tell her people there was other people in the situation.
Yeah. It's something to reflect on and thinking about that, right? Because that then drives how you color other interactions.
Yeah. I don't work jobs, bitch. I am a job.
Is it? We doing some shout outs or not?
Yes, a
Come
shout
on.
out on Thursday.
But we going, ain't we?
Yeah, I told
my
you we're gonna
goodness.
buckle in. Shit, this might be a 2-hour podcast.
Oh my goodness.
I told you this is for the people that's gonna be
In line at the
in line.
polls. Yeah.
Y'all save this now, because it ain't gonna be one on Monday.
You said split in half.
It's split it in half.
You silly.
So we got a couple emails. First one, subject is mess around and shout on a Tuesday. And the message says, Nyambi. Let them use ya. Let them use ya. You spoke a word, and I must say it was right on time. This update has been long overdue, but here it goes. I wrote in the past about my office crush
Yeah. I think I know exactly who this
that
is.
I was unsure about approaching after some time and transferred to another line of business. I decided to do so.
Yeah.
Best decision ever. Oh, shit.
Good for you.
For the first time in my 30 years of living, I was able to be a carefree black girl. Wow!
Nirman is shouting, gonna hurt our ears.
Wow!
Good for you, sis.
And remove my careful black girl cap.
Good for you, sis.
We traveled well together.
Good.
We made each other laugh. We shared our cultural differences in ways that brought us closer together. However, about 3 months ago, this wonderful man had to return to his homeland, and as a tradition, we'll have We'll have it to take a wife.
Yeah. Take a wife. Yeah.
To build lineage.
Yeah.
I must say I have been on
that's
an
hard.
emotional roller coaster ever since. He was the first man that I can honestly say I thought to myself, yeah, this is who God has for me. This is my husband. Man, Nyambi spoke a good word this morning. She could have sung my name.
Sign.
Signed my name.
What's
Dyslexia.
It's okay.
Don't pet me. Nyambi over here fucking petting me for my dyslexia. It ain't funny.
Yeah.
Signed my name right on the front of it. I know that God has had something better for me in store, and that I have celebrated and
Rejoice.
rejoiced
Yep,
in
this
this
no.
because Because a good not right now
Yep.
means he's still listening to
Come
my
on.
prayers.
Come on.
I know he hasn't brought me this far to
Leave me.
Yes.
Now, Nero, I am so sorry, but I almost screamed in laughter when you talked about your friend that smoked cigars because I know exactly who you talking about.
We about to get in trouble. Now we gotta go have intervention with friends. Like, I'm just kidding. Oh,
Because I know
man.
exactly who you talking about.
Now we gotta turn to Rodney. Oh man, I ain't mean nothing. Oh man, Grandma.
He said, I know who you were talking about. And I said to myself, dang, now you know you following too close and should be ashamed of yourself.
That's how you know we literally talk about our life, y'all. Like this ain't made up. This is literally our life.
LOL, I'm so sorry. We have, some, what did I say?
Where we at? Where we at?
Right here.
We had some mutual IG friends.
Oh,
Yep.
we have some mutual IG friends, so I followed him because he's attractive, and then I put two and two together.
Please don't tell him that. Please don't. Now, sis, that ain't the one. Now, I'm going to tell you.
Wait a minute,
that
he
ain't
might be the one.
No, it's not.
He might be the one.
Okay, go ahead. I'm going to be sitting in that front row at that wedding, just shaking my head, and I'm going to get y'all whatever you want. Them glasses off Pottery Barn.
He might be the one.
You let him get you trapped.
But I tell you, those cigars, I was like, what? You know
Dangerous.
even how you smoke cigars.
This is dangerous.
I love the podcast. I listen faithfully, and I feel you are my distant cousins. That I keep touching with all them peace and blessings from your sister Claus and GA. And can't forget my girl Mabel, who's actually licking on my leg right now, making all my leg hair straight. Hey girl, hey, we hear from you. We hear you in the background, letting those neighbors know who the boss.
Mabel don't like no decibels
Oh
above
my
one.
God.
Any Mabel like peace and quiet. I've never seen a dog who liked silence. She don't even. I used to leave TV on. She don't want that on. She just wants silence. She want to hear the pins dropping.
Right now, she licking my leg.
Oh my goodness. Our next one is from Juliana. Hey girl. The subject says Black folklore. The message says The People Could Fly has been one of my favorite books since childhood. I checked it out from the school library so much that my mom just went ahead and bought it for me. Highly recommend. I agree. I actually just got my folklore book. Is this a text?
This motherfucker is a textbook.
He teased me because y'all, what I got the annotated one because some of the folklore, like Nyambi, I ain't gonna be no shame. Poetry, creative, that ain't my strong suit. Sometimes I need people to make it plain. So I got the little annotated part so they can tell me the footnotes in what they trying to say. Like what link me to what is this the greater cause is? What is the metaphors talking about? Like make it plain. So that's why I got that one. But Julie, I definitely want to get that one too. That's on my Amazon wish list too. I'm probably gonna get that in a couple months, maybe around the holidays.
Yeah. Okay. We got one voicemail.
Cool.
Let's get this bad boy going.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh, you own it this week.
Yeah.
Look at you. Uh-oh.
Hey, Black Love Matters family.
Hey.
Your cousin Chanel.
Hey,
Just
Chanel.
giving a check-in because I'm finally calling. Just want to tell y'all, keep up the good work.
Thank
Love
you.
the authenticity. Feel like I'm family.
You are.
I was watching Bad Hair Day last night. I fell asleep on it because I just got back.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to rewatch that.
Rewatch is
And
crazy.
why nobody was talking about Lovecraft? Because it is giving everything.
good. It's
You
not
hear
as
me?
popular as it
It's
need to be.
giving history. It's
Yep.
giving ancestors. It's
Yep.
just...
I agree.
But I'm going to finish watching Bad Hair Day,
Yeah.
and then I'll call back later.
All right.
Y'all keep doing y'all. Be blessed.
Absolutely.
Alright.
It
Love
was.
y'all.
Love you too. It was a lot of people. I don't think enough people were talking about Lovecraft. Like, I'm hoping it might be a cult classic. You know how sometimes things have to happen and then usually around the holidays, actually. This is a good time where like families and stuff together and they're just watching TV and like series will pick up again. I do not think Lovecraft got the props it should have.
No.
Like, it's sick. Like, Nyambi shouldn't have been the only one screaming from the top of the roof. Go
It was
watch this.
amazing.
It should have been everywhere. It wasn't enough thunk pieces. It should have been in the shade rooms. It should have been on all these YouTubers, all these social, and it wasn't.
Misha Green.
Misha Green did that. I
Misha
don't care what nobody
Greens.
says.
I tell you.
She did that.
Period.
Yeah. She a job.
She is a job.
close us out here.
To submit your Black Love story, go to blacklovematters.com. To submit a question for Kitchen Table Talk, shoot us an email, blacklovematters@gmail.com. Remember, that's Black with no K. And to leave a comment about anything we talked about, head on over to that website. We got that SoundCloud, and we got that voicemail, and that's at 508-784-1111. Once again, that's 508-784-1111. Now, when y'all call, it's Skype, so it might be like a British lady on there. We can't change that.
Neon won't change it. We're going to find a different way.
You can't change Skype.
Well, we can find a different way to leave a voice.
Okay. But I'm just letting you know that's us.
Okay.
So leave that number, leave that
People
voice.
hang up.
Because people be like,
They about to get me caught. All right.
That's us. So talk to you later. Remember,
Love is ever evolving. Peace.
Peace.